is it important to know hip-hop? First of all, when you're hip-hop, you're not a punk. I'll say it again. First of all, when you hip-hop, you're not a punk. I'm going to get real controversial with you real quick. You're not a coward like most religions are today. Most religions today are allowing God to get stepped on, and they're allowing it. They liking it. I was saying to some journalists yesterday, some people recording the event and stuff. I said, man, imagine you going to Pakistan or Iraq or Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia, and you say, we're not teaching the Quran in public school anymore. The person who said that will be killed on the spot. The very spot they said it at. That would be their grave. Right there, that spot. You're not taking God away from most of the people in the world. But the United States, here's what we are. Here's what the United States is on. There was an early group called the Illuminati. This group was a group of, well, you can call them scientists. They realized the truth early on, and the truth was that religion is made up. And that truth did not help them make up more religion or make up a better religion. It caused them to reject the entire concept of religion and said, like Francis Bacon would say, the only way to understand nature is to submit to her. And then she yields up her secrets. So Francis Bacon wasn't much into prayer to know knowledge like Aristotle was. Aristotle believed in God, believed in the seventh heaven and different levels of reality and all of this stuff. Francis Bacon refuted Aristotle and said, no, we're not, just because you can win an argument, just because you fly with the mouth, don't mean you speak in truth. And that's what Aristotle's disputations were about. Just because if you could win an argument with words, it didn't matter whether you was telling the truth or not. If you could convince people of your truth or of your facts, then you was the truth of the day. Francis Bacon came up and said, no, that's crazy. We have to look at plants for plants, birds for birds, stars for stars. Stop adding God to all of this. And Francis Bacon's discoveries led to everything Europe has to offer today. Most of its intellectual enlightenment, Francis Bacon was right there at the genesis of it by saying, we don't need to ask God for answers. All we got to do is study the actual thing we want to know. Noble philosophy. Francis Bacon and others started to dissect plants, humans, animals, started to look at things for what they were. They jumped into another philosophy about atomic energy and atoms and molecules and the unseen world that's produced, or the invisible world that produces the visible world. This is Francis Bacon. Then, of course, you get the Enlightenment. He's the beginning of it. During the Enlightenment, as you go forward, another familiar name, Rene Descartes. I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. He comes up and he says, well, Aristotle, you're studying, Francis Bacon, you're studying plants to know what plants do. But I think, therefore I am. Meaning, my thinking is creating reality. It's not that things are coming to me. It is that my eye is shooting out reality. My third eye, which is really my first eye, third eye is kind of incorrect to say. Your first eye, your single eye, makes reality. Then your two eyes confirm it. So whatever you can get your third or first eye to commit to, your two eyes will eventually see it. This is how hip-hop began. It was the first eye that saw everything you see today. This is why Cool Herc gets the ultimate respect. This is why Africa Bambaataa gets the ultimate respect. These men were talking the way I'm talking to you right now in 1974. Imagine somebody coming up to you right now who's a graffiti writer, a DJ, an MC, all of that, all in one guy. He's a big dude. They call him Hercules. He had a big sound system. You had to have muscles to deal with hip-hop in the early days. Lifting records, lifting equipment. Now you got a laptop. Cats don't play records no more, they play laptops. I just have to slow down on that. But nonetheless, matter of fact, it's after 2. We've spoken, been speaking for an hour. Should I continue?
Yes.
Melanin is what makes me brown. Melanin is also what makes others beige. I was going to say white. There's no such thing as white. There's no such thing as black, red, yellow. Humanity don't look like that. If you look in this room right now, you'll notice beige, different shades of brown. White peoples, white, like this. White people don't exist. Only human beings exist. But let's go deep into that melanin question. In the early days, like, you know, the beginning of time, let's say the beginning of the United States, Constitution, 1700 something. There used to be dark-skinned black people. And when I say black, I mean damn near this. Black people. Their skin was so dark that foreigners could only see those people as black, like this. They were so dark brown. They were almost black. And then that dark brown in the sun, black. There were originally a black people. There were originally a white people. White Europeans used to look more white, more closer to this color. They would call it pale, pink, even red. But it was closer to actual white. Look at the early pictures of Queen Elizabeth and even poor whites and, you know, Irish and others in Europe, actually, Italians and so on. You see a white, like a chalky white person. Native Americans used to be black people. When they mated with Europeans, they now look like the Native American you're used to seeing. The Native American with the braids and, you know, the sloped head, the nose, you know, stern face, that, you know, classical Native American look. The Native American on the nickel. There's a famous American currency with a Native American on one side, buffalo on the other side. That Native American look, that side look with the braid and the head the way it is, that happened after European invasion and the rape. The people before them were black, like this. Original black people were Tasmanians off the coast of Australia. Australia used to be a penal colony, y'all know. Britain used Australia to throw their prisoners out there. You know, Britain would, you did a crime in Britain, we send you to Australia to die or whatever. There were Aboriginal people there in Australia. They were black. Black, like dark skin like this. The Tasmanians, dark skin like this, were killed by the British government. There is no Tasmanian on earth. The entire civilization was wiped out. Men, women, and children. The whole civilization wiped out. There is not one Tasmanian on earth. In fact, what you find, and I'm not going to say there's not one, I'm quite sure somebody's holding down Tasmanian people somewhere. Say again?
You.
Oh, don't even start.